we dive into the reality of what it actually takes to go after a dream. All of the sweat, all of the tears, all of the sacrifice. And at the end of the day, it isn't easy, but is it worth it?
Do you have a dream? What did you give up? Who did you let go? How much did you sacrifice? All for the dream.
Thank you for joining me on All for the Dream. I am your host, Nakesha Wright, and today I have one of my beautiful friends on with me, the Miss Taronza Graves, aka Authentic Jew, aka the Bling Coach. So tell us a little bit, let them know a little bit about what you do and what you got going on.
Well, can I start with how Authentic Jewel actually came about?
Sure.
Okay, so Authentic Jewel is essentially my poem or poet name that I've used when I go do poetry or whatever. That name came about from a little bit of heartache. So I created it as a Twitter tag. Okay. I was dating somebody and this person said, oh, well, you were an Authentic Jewel. I don't know why, they left you, whatever. So, out of that, I was like, oh, I like that. So me and God had a little conversation, and it just kind of stuck. So that's what I've used since then.
Yeah, we gotta have our separate names for our
my alias.
Yeah. And then more recently, you became the Bling Coach.
Yes.
So this, you feel, this caters to the women and uplifting the women
specifically.
So,
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about that.
So the Bling Coach came about because I felt as though with everything that we see in the media, where women are kind of taught or shown that having the facade is where you have success. But what I find is just being who you are, being authentically who you are, shining as you are. And so that's where the Bling Coach came from. Ties into Authentic Jewel, the jewels like you, the butterflies, so the jewels will be. So that's how that came about. So even with the different gemstones that you might see, they're all different and have all different qualities, but they're all beautiful in their own right. So that's my goal with the Bling Coach. I do coaching, but I also do mentoring with women as well.
Okay. So do you feel like we as women rely on those filters? Like from the Snapchat filters, the Instagram filters, it's everything that kind of makes us look not like we truly are.
It's easy to get caught into that, yeah, because you look at the different celebrities and, there's, oh my God, her skin is flawless. And then you start looking at yourself like, oh, this is it right here. So then you smooth it out in the filters and you start to try to portray what you think you should look like based on what somebody else. So, yeah, I mean, I feel like, if we just look at ourselves raw, no makeup in the mirror and just say to ourselves, speak those affirmations and say, I'm beautiful just like I am. But it's hard when all you see are those images.
Yeah, all the Photoshop, airbrush, and then you looking at yourself, you're like
I got dimples. Yeah.
So yeah, and I know that we're actually in a Facebook group with other women. We kind of uplift each other. Do you feel like that is something that might be necessary for women at this time in the world?
Yes, because a lot of times we think we're on an island by ourselves. We think that we're the only ones who struggle with identity issues or struggle with feeling beautiful all the time, or so those groups are necessary to know, hey sis, I look rough today too. Yeah. Or, even show the scarf, like, girl, I look, but it just helps us to understand that, what we see online isn't always factual. It's who you are internally. It's who you are innately that matters.
Do you ever find I know you said it a little bit with the celebrities, do you ever find yourself comparing yourself to people in your circle?
Yes. Yes, very easy. And that's kind of why occasionally I'll take a social media break because it's not that you don't want your friends to be successful, but in my opinion, you have, the enemy tries to play these tricks on you. Like, you know what, she's doing it more than you, or why aren't you doing enough?
Yep.
And when I find myself feeling like that, knowing that I have my own unique gifts, you have your own unique gifts, when I find myself feeling like that, I pull back and I start to just really allow God to pour into me and say, this is who you are. You don't compare yourself to anybody else, because everybody's gift is totally unique. We might have similar talents or, you know, similar ambitions, but I can't be Nakesha Wrights. You can't be Authentic Jewel. But when we come together,
we could be powerful.
And that's the one thing, that having that circle of friends and that group, you see that, you know the struggles, you see that she adds to me. I add to her. Nobody's taking away. Nobody's in this whole comparison trap and trying to, you know, compete with one another. When we know that everybody can win, that's goals.
Yes. And see, so Taronza actually has her own talk show as well. Now, I can say that I didn't even think that I would be doing this, right? So I never, when I was on your talk show, nothing in my head said, oh, you could do a talk show. It wasn't even there.
You want to be on camera.
I didn't. So, you know, but the cameraman, he was like, you should do a talk show. And I'm like, no, I don't know. But it is actually helping me open up and be able to talk to people, because I don't, if I go in the room, I'm going to say, hey, I'm not going to be talking to you through there, you know, because I keep to myself. But this is really helping me to explore a little bit. So, but I'm not just, and I'm still going to promote your talk show. I'm not going to not, you know, that's not what we do. So we also been in several plays together. So, and you're a single mom.
Yes.
And you're working a full-time job. Yes. And you're going after your dreams with an S, because it's multiple. How do you balance that?
So I balance it by realizing there's really no such thing as true balance. Something's gonna fall. I just try to make sure that the important things don't fall. So my children, I don't care how big the dream is, my children are not falling. You know, the job, I might have to set limitations and prioritize, and I gotta get out of here by 5. I gotta do these, and learning to say no. You know, there's so many things and so many opportunities out there. You kind of want to like be at everything. Like I want to do this, I want to support this person, but when you really have to learn like what's important right now. Is it not even just with my children? Is it me? How do I feel? Am I tired? Am I going to be irritable if I go and do this for this person? I might as well not do it. So finding balance is kind of like, you really can't find it.
That's true.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you said that, like learning to say no, because I have had a hard time with that too, because I want to help, I want to be there, I want to do this and that and that. And so there's been some times where I had to work, and I didn't try to switch my schedule. I was like, you know, I gotta work, you know. But I'm really, you know, I'm tired. But there's a lot of things where I'm like running to my boss, like, can somebody switch days with me, switch times with me, because I want to be out there. But you know, there's some times where I be like, no, I can't. So, you know, it is good to say no and to be choosy with what you put yourself into.
And the true circle of support and friends will understand that.
Let's see. Have you ever felt like giving up? And how do you go about pulling yourself out of those moments?
I feel like giving up often. I pull myself out by realizing that it's not just about me. The books that I'm supposed to write, the places I'm supposed to be in plays or speaking my poetry or whatever, it's about the impact. If I keep thinking that it's about me and fulfilling my dreams and my goals and not thinking about the impact and the people that I'm called to, I'll quit in a minute and just, you know, feel good Netflixing and chilling on the couch and doing nothing, you know. But other people and also my kids, I want them to see mommy make it. They've seen the sacrifice. You know, my daughter's with me all the time. Y'all see that. You know, my son's doing his own thing. He's grown. He's 18. I just dropped him off at work. So, but they see that, and I don't want them to see that and it be in vain. That mama's just running. And the times that I do sacrifice away from them, you know, I want them to see the fruit of that.
Yeah.
I don't want them to see mommy's always gone and she still ain't done nothing, you know. So those moments when I'm like, I want to give up. Okay, I'm done with this. Because I did that for a while with acting. I took a long hiatus after I had her. I was just like, I don't even want to do this no more. And then somebody reached out, and then somebody else reached out, and I was like, all right, you know. But yeah, that's the motivating factor. And not that you should depend on other people as far as like pursuing your goals, but start thinking more broadly. Then it's not just about me and what I can achieve and how much money I can make. It's the impact and it's the legacy that I'm leaving.
Yeah, definitely. Because, you know, there are lots of times I want to give up and I'm tired, and then I'm like, oh, and I'm running, and then like recently my sister passed, and that's where one of those that support of the women, like all of y'all came to my house. That was like 8 deep. It has not been that many people in my house, but all of you came and you supported me, you showed up, you made me laugh, and it was just like when you left, I still was like. And I was like, you know, because my sister, she was a big support as well. And I'm like, I haven't been able to get motivated and pushed. And I feel like, you know, I got to do it. You know, I got to keep doing it. And y'all inspire me to keep going too. So it's like, you know, I got to do it. I got to follow my dreams. I got to make it. And I got to show her that when she was out there supporting me, it wasn't for nothing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You've come too far.
Yeah.
To just, you know, turn around at this point. Like, all that you've achieved, all that you've done and sacrificed with your sister's help and with the help of your family, you've come too far to just say, okay, I'm done now. So.
Yeah. And you talked about, your book, The Blessing in the Breaking. Excuse me, The Blessing in the Breaking. What actually did you go through that made you pour that into that book?
That little tiny 4x5 book or whatever size it is, that was like a culmination of things. A lot of breaking, heartbreaking, breaking of my spirit. So some of it I talk about my experience in the military, where I didn't break my hip, but I did something to it. And I had to run my last test. I think it was it's called AIT, Advanced Individual Training or something like that. I think it's called. It's a shame I'm in the military and I don't know where I was and all that stuff. But anyway, it's your job training basically. So, but you have the physical fitness test and you had to run or whatever. So I had to run maybe the last full lap with a limp.
Ooh. Yeah.
I mean, a bad limp. A limp that was so bad, like it took a couple of weeks after I got home for it to heal fully. So I'm walking around, but I had to run that and I had to finish with a limp. And I thought about that and I wrote in the book, like, you know, sometimes in running your race, you're going to have to run it with a limp. You're going to have to run broken. You're going to have to run hurting, but you're still going to have to run. And then when you think about that breaking process, oh, he broke my heart, or, you know, I didn't get this job, or whatever the case may be, you think about the fact that, okay, but I'm better for it. Like, I went through that, but now I'm better for it. Like, now I see why I went through that. Like, my military training, of course, you know, that taught me a whole lot of stuff. The heartbreaks taught me a whole lot of stuff. But the biggest blessing, again, in that is the impact I have. The impact to go tell another sister, oh, girl, you'll get through it. Yeah. You'll be fine, you know. But that's, a lot of things inspired that book. But it was kind of like God showing me, I didn't take you through that for nothing. Nothing that you've been through was wasted. I hear that all the time. It's like, nothing that you've been through was wasted.
That's kind of deep right there. That is kind of deep. So with that, what would you say was your biggest sacrifice that you've made in pursuing your dreams? Deep breath. Yeah.
It would probably be the time that I spent away from my son. Like, she's been with me, you know, all the time, but I feel like my son kind of got the most of the, not just with acting, but I went to grad school twice. He, even with undergrad, my mom helped me out with him. So it was like, in pursuing all of that. Now my son and I have a great relationship, but if I'm not careful, I'll slip into that, oh man, I wasn't really a good mom during this time because I was pursuing all this kind of stuff. And it's like, God will send friends that'll say, Taronza, you tripping. You're a good mom. You got good kids. But that little bit of me that's like the overachiever, is like, I gotta be this, I gotta be that. It's like there's that little voice that be like, well, you didn't spend all that time with him. And you were, and I remember one time I was in one of the grad programs and I was doing this exam. It was my MBA. I was doing this exam and he came up to me. I think he might have been in 5th grade, 6th grade, something, I don't know. And he was like, Mommy, that looks really hard. I feel bad for you. But it was like in that moment, I'm like, dang, he recognized the sacrifice because those degrees, it's college not for everybody, but my goal was to get a better, job or whatever, and it worked out. But yeah, that's probably the biggest thing, is the time that I felt I could have just been that mom, taking him to sports games and all that kind of stuff. We didn't really do that. So, but again, I think he turned out all right.
Well, that's all that matters.
Right.
I mean, I'm glad you kind of said that too, where you said you get in your head, and I know that I'll run and run and run, and then when I sit down, then I start eating at myself like, you're not good enough. You're not gonna make it. You can't do it. Right. So I stay running because I don't want to get in that moment, because it just takes you all the way down. You done got to 100 on doing the things you love to do, and you sit down for that moment, you all the way back to 0. You got to gas yourself up. You got to get your friends to gas you up. So it can be very draining. Oh yeah, very draining, very draining. So what do you have going on now? Like, you have a lot going on.
Well, what takes most of my time, I'm very active in my church. I am mentoring a couple of young ladies right now. And outside of work, I just cleaned off my space in my room to really like jam out some of these books. So that's the biggest thing. I'm not really taking a break from acting, but I kind of am. It's like, I haven't really pursued, like, put anything out there, but somebody did ask, like, the other day, actually, then I will. But I have my moments where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna pull back a little bit. So I'm kind of in that moment right now where there's nothing that's just like glaring, like, oh, come see me here, not even like the Taronza show. I took a big break from that. But it's just, it goes back to the whole comparison thing and, feeling like I'm not doing enough. And, but I call it my Selah moment. I'm in a pause. Okay. I'm in a pause. But, I do plan on knocking some things out by the end of the year, because 2020 is going to be popping.
Boom.
Popping.
Lip gloss popping. So, what are your books about, though?
One of them is an anthology. So you're a poet, you've written your poetry and published them in books. So that one is about 120 something poems that I wrote from middle school, mostly high school into early college years. And it is it's interesting to go back and read your stuff from way back. Girl. I had to look at what I was like, girl, what were you even talking about? Like, what is it? So, but it's great to even see the growth. Yes. In your writing. I was like, okay, it was kind of elementary then, but still deep. But some of the stuff, I read it and I'm like, how were you writing that at 17? And it's speaking to 40-year-old you. Like, how does that even happen? So that's one. That's still in the hands of the editor. So we're trying to, make it pop. And it should be called Uncovered, but we're still kind of going through that because it's uncovering some parts of me that people haven't always seen. And the other book, this one is precious to me. It was supposed to be part of it. Me precious. Me precious. Me precious. is. And that's funny because it's called Purpose Over Platinum, and the cover has a big bling ring on it or whatever. But this book, I think it's taking me so long to finish it because it's like I'm living it every day. And it's called A Purpose Over Platinum, A Single Woman's Guide to Being the Rock Before the Rock. And that essentially means stop idolizing marriage. Stop thinking that you're going to need a husband before everything just falls into place. Live your best life now. Live authentically now. And there's nothing wrong with having that dream or that goal of being a wife and being a mom and all that kind of stuff. But don't idolize it to the point of you wait and put your whole life on hold until that comes to fruition. And because I was reading all kinds of books that tell you, 115 ways to become a wife.
Yep.
Check this list off. It's like you got to do this, and you got to know how to cook fried chicken with macaroni and cheese with the real kind. I mean, you do need to know how to do that. Now. You do. That would be nice. But it was just all these different self-help books. Some were very spiritually based, and not saying that all of them were wrong, but it's so cookie cutter that it makes every woman think I have to do it this way, and then if you don't do it this way, something's wrong with you.
Yeah.
And I struggled with that for a while. Like, okay, so I'm not married because I ain't checked off a checklist. Like, this don't even sound right. Or I didn't anoint everything with oil and just really, really stuff that I'm not saying is fully wrong, but it just puts this expectation that something's wrong with you if you're not married and you're pursuing your goals.
There's some people who married that don't need to be married, so you can't like that. So there's so many people in relationships that they're like, this is not really, so you'd rather wait and be with the right one than to be trying to jump into something that ain't right. And I know you said that your poetry book is going to be vulnerable. It's going to open up to you. And I know that, with my play, I had, things with that nature. You have a lot of people trying to figure out what was true. They say they talking. Yeah. So, that I did struggle a little bit with that. But I just felt like God was saying, put it out there, because it's not only helping me, because you don't know how many people after that play they came up to me and was like, yo, your play, I lived that. I've done that. So I just want to say, I think that it is honorable for you to put it out there, because everybody can't do that. Everybody, because that what you put out, like you said, you don't know how many people it's gonna help.
Right.
So I'm definitely ready to read these poems.
Yes.
And so is the Taronza show picking back up?
Yes.
Because I saw an episode recently.
TBD. Yeah, TBD. I have, like I said, I cleared out my writing space, so I've also cleared out my recording space. So I was doing it in my dining room for a little while, and my backdrop and all that kind of stuff, and so it's coming back.
Okay.
It is TBD, but it'll come back this year.
Awesome. So is there anything else that you maybe want to say to somebody who is they're on that edge and they're ready to just give up?
Kind of echoing what I said to you earlier. You've come too far. You've come too far, and again, not that you are the savior of everybody, that you finishing this goal or finishing whatever it is that's assigned to your hands. It's not like, oh, I have to do this to save them. You're not their savior. But there is somebody that's depending on your voice, your play, your acting, whatever, that's going to be that moment oh, that was me. That spoke to me. And nobody else can do it but you. And that's the thing. When we go back to that whole comparison, oh, when Nakesha got a show, Taronza got a show, so-and-so got a show. But Nakesha's going to reach somebody I'm not going to reach. And so whatever it is that you do, just keep that in mind. My voice is specific for somebody. And the struggle, it's gonna always be there. It's gonna always be there. You gotta pray your way through it. You gotta take care of your body, all that good stuff, because we can't be out here trying to live our best life and putting the worst things in our body and not exercising. So I'm learning that, you know. But yeah, just continue to be encouraged. Speak affirmations over yourself, and get you a circle of supportive friends, not just associates, not just because they're in the same entertainment circle either. You got to be able to have confidants. If you don't have confidants, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard because you need somebody that you can be vulnerable in front of that's not going to go tell your business. Like, oh, well, Taronza's really struggling in this area. Nakesha's really struggling in this area. You need to be able to pour out and have them pour back into you. So that's important as well. But don't give up.
Yeah. I got to say this one thing since she just said it. So
say it, girl.
We're in a fitness group where we try to motivate each other, girl. We be in there, you know. I just got my hands straightened, so I won't be working out.
This thing, you was like fresh from the salon.
No, I'll see y'all next week.
We're supposed to like work out 30 minutes for 30 days. We do little challenges and stuff like that. But this thing got super cute. Probably got her brows and lashes done and everything. She was like, I'm just here checking in, but I'm just letting y'all know. I'm not working out today because I just got this blown out, and I just got to last. What you said? This was something you was like, it's got to last for my birthday or something. It was something you did last year. I was like, ma'am.
Okay, but one drop of sweat in this thing, this game's going up. It's not going to stay. So.
I feel you, honey.
But like we say, each one teach one.
Yeah.
Each one teach one, and you know, everybody just keep on pushing, keep going after your dreams, because you never know who you are going to touch, who life you can change. So just keep doing what you're doing. It's always for the dream, always for the dream. So make sure you like, subscribe, and share, and it's only on Save the Arts TV.